Occitanie is a stateless nation in Western Europe where the Occitan language was historically spoken. Occitanie encompasses the southern third of France, a western part of Italy, the Principality of Monaco, and the Aran Valley in Spain. Under Roman rule, most of Occitanie was known as Aquitaine except the earlier conquered territories, called Provincia Romana and Provence currently. The history of Occitanie then follows the embryonic nation formed by the mythical kingdom of Aquitaine. There is a continuity of Aquitaine from the Roman Empire until the 13th century. It still remains distinct from the Frankish principalities, a powerful duchy of Aquitaine when the Capetian dynasty supplants that of the Carolingians. But in the 13th century the Kingdom of France began its annexation and a process of assimilation. At the same time appears the use of the name Occitanie. Guy II is the Count of Auvergne at the beginning of the 13th century. Auvergne is a fiefdom of the Duchy of Aquitaine of Plantagenet House. During the conflict between the Plantagenet Empire of John King of England against the Kingdom of France between 1202 and 1214, Philippe II of France attacked Guy II of Auvergne in 1212 and annexed the largest part of the county of Auvergne to France in 1213. In 1209 begins the Albigensian Crusade. It was a military and ideological campaign initiated by Pope Innocent III to eliminate Catharism in Languedoc, prosecuted primarily by the French crown, and promptly took on a geopolitical aspect. The first step was the annexation by the Kingdom of France in 1226 of the viscounty of Albi, the viscounty of Béziers, and the viscounty of Carcassonne of the House of Trencavel. Trencavel is a vassal of the Crown of Aragon, but King Peter II of Aragon was killed in 1213 during this crusade when he came to end French interference on his lands. Then, the Catholic Crusade also led to the complete annexation of the county of Toulouse by the French crown in 1271 by application of the Treaty of Paris signed in 1229 and despite attempts to resist the French occupation, as in Montsegur, until 1244. After Auvergne, the kings of France will continue to gradually annex Aquitaine. On July 17, 1453, the King of France Charles VII confronted the army of Henry VI, King of England and Duke of Aquitaine, at Castillon, near Bordeaux. This final battle of the 100 Years' War ended with a decisive victory for the French, who incorporated a big part of Aquitaine into the royal domain in 1472. On January 31, 1246, the Countess Beatrice of Provence of the royal house of Aragon married the Capetian Prince Charles I of Anjou, brother of the King of France Louis IX, known as Saint Louis. At the same time, Louis IX marries with Marguerite of Provence, the sister of Countess Beatrice. These two unions by marriage between the royal house of Aragon and that of France will later have an impact on the history of the county of Provence. Indeed, when Charles V of Anjou died without an heir in Marseilles on December 10, 1481, he logically bequeaths to his cousin the King of France Louis XI the county of Provence, which is thus attached to France in 1482. In reality, the whole of Aquitaine did not become French at the end of the 100 Years' War which opposed French against English. Indeed, Béarn remained an independent state, more specifically under the management of the Count of Foix Gaston Phoebus, self-proclaimed Gaston III Prince of Béarn from 1347. In 1472, François Phoebus became Viscount of Foix and Béarn and ascended the throne of the Kingdom of Navarre in 1481. On August 2, 1589, his descendant Henri King of Navarre of the Bourbon dynasty also becomes King of France for an obvious genealogical reason. He is the most direct male descendant of the Capetian dynasty since Saint Louis, and he is even the great-nephew of the King of France François I by his mother. This is how by Henri IV of Bourbon the northern part of Navarre became the French Basque country, linking at the same time this Occitan principality of Foix-Béarn, which remained for a time a real independent state. The King of France Louis XIII Act in 1620 of the merger of the northern part of Navarre to France, including this principality of Béarn, with the county of Foix also. After the Treaty of Turin was signed in 1860 between Victor Emmanuel II, King of Sardinia, and the Emperor of the French Napoleon III, the county of Nice was ceded to France as a territorial reward for French assistance in the Second Italian War of Independence against Austria. A referendum was voted on April 1860. The yes vote won partly due to pressure from the authorities in order to influence the outcome of the vote in relation to the decisions already taken.